Are they brilliant or what? Species number 3. That is awesome. And this thing is absolutely kind. You win some, you lose some. All right, so I'm waiting for my buddy Matt. He's up from Florida to visit some family around the holidays. He'll be here any minute. It's December 31st. It's New Year's Eve here in Pennsylvania. It's the winter, even though it's 52 degrees out. So there's not much that we can really look for. But today we're going to try and find 4 different salamander species at a local nature preserve. One of them is a rock star here. It's a northern red. So that is the target of the day. But we will go over all 4 species, hopefully, if we find all 4. That remains to be seen. Trust me, when you look into the natural history of some of these seemingly boring herps, it's actually pretty interesting. So I'm gonna share some great facts here that should hopefully open your eyes to how awesome some of these tiny little salamanders are. Stay tuned. And there she is. Who cares about him? There's Naya. Hey doggies, you ready to find some lungless salamanders? Lead the way, Naya. All right, I'm here with Matt. He's from Florida. As you can tell, it's 52 degrees out, but he's bundled up like he's in the Arctic. He's been away from the Northeast a little too long. So today the big target is red salamander. So Matt, first question. If we had a good spot here for spotted salamanders, would you rather see a red or a spotted? Spotted. Okay. We have a seepage here that kind of goes down this hill, and we're gonna try and find all 4 salamanders. There's actually a 5th salamander that's here that I've only ever seen once in like 15 years. So maybe Matt will have some luck and find it. But we're gonna flip rocks in the seepage and see what we can find. All right, we are on the board with our first salamander. This is a northern 2-line salamander, Eurecia bislionata. The bi is probably Greek or Latin for the 2 lines going down their back, as you can see. It's a brook salamander. They live in the creeks and seepages, just like the duskies. You'll almost always find them together. And this is another lungless salamander. Let this guy go because he's been out of his water for a while. And even though it's 50 degrees out, I don't want to bug him too much. So Matt got a larval red.
Little crayfish too.
Okay, so this is a larval northern red. They actually stay in this larval, oh, he just opened his mouth. They stay in this larval stage, females up to 5 years and the males up to 4 years. These will become sexually mature, the females at 5 years, the males at 4 years. And one of the things they do is they stay in this larval stage for so long. You can see the gills right there. They stay in this larval stage so long to give them like a head start on some of these other salamanders so that they're larger when they're adults and they're not predated on as easily. And then they actually eat some of the smaller salamanders. So he is lungless, but he's still relying on his gills with the larvae. So I'm gonna get him back into water. Matt's got an adult northern dusky. Species number 3, but we're not gonna count that larval red. We need to find an adult, that's why we're here. This next one I'm gonna be careful with because they can actually jump right out of your hand. This is the northern dusky salamander. This is Desmognathus fuscus. There he goes. All right, hopefully he stays there. It's not a brook salamander, but you'll find these in creeks. They don't travel too far away from the water. They actually have a home range of 1 square meter up to about 3.5 square meters. So if you're finding these in the same area, it could be the same species. I mean, they'll travel onto roads every now and then, but they're usually going right back. These guys have a lifespan of about 15 years. The redback I just showed you, that little guy, have actually lived 25 years in captivity. They probably last a good 10 to 15 years in the wild, though, just like the rest of these guys with predation. I'm gonna let this guy go because he's getting all dirty from this log. All right, well, this is a surprise. Matt's on fire. He just found a garter snake out on New Year's Eve. That is awesome. So here we go with this little garter. By the way, my good old friend Steve just showed up. So now we got 3 people and a dog and a garter snake looking for this northern red. That's the target today. The unpredicted rock star of the afternoon, an eastern garter snake that Matt found out and about. Thamnophis frontalis. As you can see, it's chilled out. They can be bitey sometimes, but he's pretty cold to the touch. And this is kind of nice because I have a little bit of an allergic reaction to these guys when they're bitey, so I try and avoid them biting me, but this guy's all chilled out. Cool animal though. Okay, that's the cutest thing that's happened today. All right, so we got this guy posed up pretty nicely because of the temperature, and I didn't bring my camera, and I always take these guys for granted. But here's a look at him. Check out Steve's picture. Nice. Oh, that does look good. All right, so here is species number 3. Species number 3, and this thing is absolutely tiny. This must have just metamorphosized, if that's the right word. It's an eastern redback salamander next to all this stuff. So if he was growing up, he'd have a buffet right here. We'll hopefully find an adult, but this is a little guy. We're on the board. We actually got all 4 we came here for, but we still need that adult red. I'll take an adult red back too. Okay, so I wish I had an adult here, but this is an eastern redback. This is Plethodon cinereus. This is another Plethodontidae, lungless salamander species. They breathe through their skin, and they have lining in their mouth and throat that helps them breathe too. They pull the oxygen out of water or out of moisture. So comparing this to the red that I just showed you, there's only 2 in that genus, the eastern or mud salamanders and red salamanders. These guys have 56 species, and these are woodland salamanders. All right, we're gonna move on to a new spot and see if we can find an adult. Steve, what's better, timber rattlesnake or northern copperhead?
What's better?
Yeah, what would you rather find?
I guess rattlesnakes.
That's fine.
North Florida came good.
Over a hog?
Over a hog.
Over a nice hog?
Yeah, I think so.
We're gonna watch Matt break his back for this. Now he has to do it. He's on camera. Did you want help? All right, let's see what the spoils are.
Nothing. Not even a centipede.
Nothing. I don't know, man. I'm pretty spoiled right now. little marbled salamanders. Steve found the ugliest marble in all of Pennsylvania.
I thought it was a slimy for a second.
Look at that thing. Comments about how we're torturing the marbled salamander incoming. All right, so this is different than the salamanders we found earlier. Those were lungless. These guys have lungs. This is ambistomids. Ambistoma opacum is the name of this guy. Marbled salamander. They can be much better looking. I'm not like unappreciative because we flipped a lot of things to find this, and Steve got this one. If you watch my channel, you've seen much better looking versions of these guys, but that's okay. He's still doing his deal out here. So the neat thing about these guys is they are fall breeders, and that they've evolved that way that gives them a heads up on the other mole salamanders in the area. In this area, we only have spotteds, but these guys will often share vernal pools, which are seasonal pools with tigers and spotteds. So by being fall breeders, they come, they lay their eggs on the edges of the vernal pools, like the dips in the ground, and then the water, as the rains come, will flood the eggs, and then they will hatch into larvae in the pools, and they will be big enough to metamorphosize and come out on land before the larger salamanders can get in there and eat them. And that's how they've kind of carved out their niche here. Very neat lichen on these rocks, lichen and moss. And the color's not even coming through as good as it is live, but...
Like and subscribe to the channel.
Oh, shoot. How did I miss that? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. All right, so after all that, I'm all alone now, and I'm going to try and find an adult red to show you how awesome these are, because that larval red wasn't cutting it. So this is what I got to work with, my trusty spring house. So I'm going to put the phone down to flip these, because the last thing I want to do is see a red jewel underneath this and then it get away, because I only have one hand available. So hopefully in the next clip, you'll see me with a red. Well, it wasn't for lack of trying. I saw like 6'2" lines, like 8 larval reds. I don't know how they survive in that gross spring house, but they're in there. Of course, not a single one was an adult, but it's the way it goes sometimes, right? If I can get this up. 2 lined, red, 2 lines, another red. So check these guys out. Are they brilliant or what? Look at that pair. These are a little smaller. Oh, look at that. Number 3. Very nice. You win some, you lose some, but you're never gonna know until you step into the outdoors. I'll see you next time.